Week 1 is in the books. We're going to review the quiz that I posted on Friday. So this will be the routine. I'll post a quiz. Take your time. You can send it to me as well. A couple of you have sent it to me on Instagram. We went back and forth, went over the answers, but I will also do a video to review the quiz. This is quiz number 1. I challenge you guys to go to an Orange Theory, F45, TrainerMate, whatever the trendy class is in your neighborhood, go there, take it. You can do it for free. This is part of the art of becoming a trainer. You need to learn to kind of flirt. Go in there, let them know you just moved to the area, you're super excited about joining a gym, you wanted to try it out for free first. And if they say no, it costs $25, say great, have a good day, and turn around. Just like a car salesman, a lot of times they're going to try to snatch you up to get you to commit to some type of package. So you just want to try it out once to get a feel for it before you make that commitment. So do a class, learn about the environment, detail your SWOT analysis. I like to call it more like a SOT, S-O-T, but the more popular acronym is SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So when you look at your competitors, I think that's what you should definitely analyze, S-W-O-T. For yourself, I think it should really be S-O-T, strengths, opportunities, and threats. We dwell too much on our weaknesses today, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's analysis by paralysis. Paralysis by analysis. All right, so fill in the blanks. What does the main muscle engage when you do a leg press? A leg press is going to be sagittal plane of motion. It's primarily going to be knee dominant, which will be your quadriceps. People will do the leg press for your glutes, which is fine, but I wouldn't do it specifically for your glutes. Meaning, I'm going to do a glute day. I'm going to start out with leg press. Now do your hip thrusts, your reverse lunges, and then isolate at the bottom and put in your leg press. Overhead press, military, frontal plane of motion, primarily your deltoid, and then you're going to have your triceps as the synergist. It's just asking for the main muscle engaged. I'm just going to give you more. We have the synergist, the agonist, stabilizer, antagonist. For any overhead pressing, pulling, or just exercise in general, the stabilizer is going to be your rotator cuff, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, subscapularis. We haven't gone over this stuff yet. Just kind of planting the seeds for the future. So the antagonist, again, this is more for the future, but getting you prepared. For the overhead press is the opposite. So if I'm pushing, pulling would be the antagonist, which would be your lats. And your push-up would technically be multiplanar. My hands are pointing to 12, but watch my elbows. They trace through the horizon, which is going to be the transverse. So it's multiplanar, transverse, and sagittal. Multi-jointed and multiplanar. Primarily your chest. Stabilizers are going to be your rotator cuff. Synergist would be your tricep and your anterior deltoid. And then you're going to have your antagonist would be your posterior deltoid. Opposite action. Region of the spine. So we have 6 bones, and then you also have the mandible and maxilla. It's part of the skull. Scully over here. So the front part is your frontal lobe. You have the temporals, parietal, occipital. So your, I skipped a little bit right there, but it's actually, where are you? I thought that was, where am I looking at? Region, oh, number 6 is going to be D for parietal. Region of the spine, we have cervical, thoracic, and lumbar is the last 5. So the correct answer for number 1 would be B for thoracic. 2, upper arm bone. We have the humerus. The ulna is the elbow. The radius would be your thumb. So that would be E for humerus. A shin bone. The medial larger shin bone would be the tibia. The lateral smaller bone, non-weight bearing bone would be your fibula. So 3 would be C. Chest bone would be your sternum, right in the middle. The lower end, the most distal portion of it would be called your xiphoid process. Upper leg bone would be A, the femur. The floating bone is your kneecap, that is your patella. It's not one of the questions, but just giving you some more knowledge. And skull bone, as I said earlier, is your parietal bones. You have 2 of them. Why should a beginner start off with 12 to 20 repetitions and incorporate stabilization in the program? We need to be stable before we're strong. We need to be strong before we're powerful. I like that continuum. Unfortunately, like in the NASM OPT model, what they view as stabilization is a single leg press or a stability ball squat curl press or getting on a BOSU ball and juggling bowling ball pins. I don't like that term, stabilization. I prefer endurance, local muscular endurance, which would be 12 plus reps. And the reason we do that is to strengthen your ligaments and tendons. The most important thing. Remember the Miyagi-isms, the wax on, wax off. That's going to be doing the motion over and over and over again. Imagine if you're a basketball player and you want to get better at free throws. How do you get better? By running back and forth? By closing your eyes and shooting free throws? No, you do exactly what you want to get better at, which is shooting free throws. Practice, 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 practice. So if you want to get better at the squat, the hinge, the push, the pull, a carry, anti-rotation, breathing patterns, whatever unilateral exercise you're trying to master, you got to practice and practice and practice and practice. So a squat goblet, next time come in, do a front squat. Next time do body weight squat. Do a step up, do a reverse step up, do a reverse lunge, do a forward lunge. The more you practice focusing on the proper checkpoints. So any type of lower body movement, we want to have our big toe, little toe, and heel on the ground within reason. Only one I can think of would be like a hip thrust would be okay for your toes to come up. Otherwise, we want to maintain those 3 checkpoints. Your knees should always track through your toes, and it's okay if they go past your toes. It's not the end of the world. If I lose my heel contact point and my knee travels past my toes, that's where I get in trouble. I want to avoid the valgus where it comes in. If it goes out a little bit in knee varus, it's not the end of the world. If it comes in, you have a little bit of knee valgus, it's not the end of the world. We want it to be best, optimal. Don't strive for perfection. Progress. And so we're going to strengthen ligaments and tendons, neuromuscular communication, which would be the Miyagi-isms, movement competency. Practice, practice, practice. And good. What does FIT stand for? Frequency, intensity, time, and type. NASM will throw in an E for enjoyment. I always tell my clients, do you want to have fun working out or do you want to look amazing naked? Our society is striving out for fun, rah, 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 rah. And people are frustrated because at the end of the day they're not getting results. They're being misled. There's a free platform with social media, and so everyone has a voice and everyone thinks they're a professional because they have a certification. Just because you're certified doesn't mean you're qualified. So you need to be different than all the other certified trainers out there by being knowledgeable and understanding the fundamentals, which is this stuff. Sarcopenia is the loss of muscle mass due to age. As we get older, our brain, the motor unit, motor neuron, and all the associated muscle fibers it innervates has a hard time. We will lose those large, powerful type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers. If you don't use them, you will lose them. Dynapenia is the loss of strength due to age. So both components are why we are weak. And when we fall and you don't have the ability to engage those type 2 muscle fibers to catch yourself, that's how you break a hip and die. Motor unit, as I just said, is a neuron and all the associated muscle fibers. It innervates the brain talking to the muscle. When you press forward, 2 main muscles, chest and tris. For now, there's about 15 plus muscles when you press. But for now, I just want chest and triceps just to help you get a better understanding. When you press overhead, primarily anterior and medial deltoid. Your deltoid is 1 muscle, but there's 3 parts. So if you just put deltoid, that's fine. Deltoid and triceps. And then we got the second page. Where do we go? It's probably going to do something with pulling. All right, so then we have the 2 muscles when you're pulling. Back and bis. Back and bis. You change your grip, you can put a different emphasis because of the humerus. This is more advanced, but this is to get you excited about what you're going to begin to learn. When I row like that, it's sagittal. You have humeral extension. When I row with a pronated grip, I have horizontal abduction. My scapula and my humerus are doing 2 different things. So here sagittal, here transverse. This is more my lats and my bicep. Still my lats and my bicep here, but I have more retraction, which is going to be more my rhomboids, mid and lower trapezius, and my posterior deltoid. That's just to get you excited about the new stuff. Tag me with a new exercise. People like new. If you think that you're going to train your clients just by doing bench press and squats and deadlifts, the likelihood of them leaving is going to be high because in their mind, they see all this fluff and this flare out there. That's what they need. A new iPhone is better than an old one, so that's how you have to play the game. I'm still going to do all the patterns in those exercises and overload the hell out of them. That's how you're going to get in great shape. Lifting heavy weights, doing things fast and explosive, but you got to go back to question 1 or 2 or 3. You got to be stable before you're strong. You got to be strong before you're powerful. And today we do too many things that are powerful and explosive when we don't have the foundation. Strengthen your ligaments and tendons, learn how to move, earn the right to move explosively. In my opinion, some of the more explosive lifts, that's how you're gonna get in the best shape of your life. Doing jumps and broad jumps and explosive push-ups, but you gotta earn the right to get there. So start coming up with new exercises. You know, it's great to go to Barnes & Noble. I know we're getting old today, but Barnes & Noble, they're still around. Go and spend a weekend. Just one day, 3-4 hours, go through all the magazines. Shape, Hers, Men's Health, Cosmo, whatever, and learn what people are immersing themselves with. So if they're learning about the trendy new workout, take one of those exercises. Wow, that's creative. Practice it. See how you can make it better. Slow down the tempo, intensity, time, frequency. So just put your own little twist on it. If you see me doing an exercise I just did with a student the other day, eccentric tricep, and then we come down and we press up. We talked about regressions and progressions. And if you do that, great. But if you post that and like claim it as your own, I'm not saying it's my own, but you gotta put your own little twist on it. How about doing it with one arm? So add your own value by making it your own. That's how you can be creative. Design a beginning workout for a 42-year-old male. This is another video that we just posted. So you're gonna take your client's goals most importantly. You wanna start with light weight. If it's a guy and he hasn't worked out in a while, start with 10 to 12 reps. If it's a girl, 12 plus. Because society says guys are supposed to do 3 sets of 10, girls are supposed to do 3 sets of 15. That's not the case. We should all lift very similar, but you have to realize that's what your client's thinking. This bro that's coming in, if he's 42 years old, he likes to bench. He squats, he does your bro exercises. You got to speak bro. If you're a girl and you come into me and I go, hey, I'm gonna get you all jacked up, you're gonna be freaked out because I'm a guy and you think that you're gonna get big and bulky from lifting weights. It doesn't happen, but that's still what you think. And if I tell you, no, you're wrong, I'm right, let's go do some bench press, I'm not speaking your language. You want to get toned, you want to be sleek, you want to have a flat stomach, you don't want a six-pack, you don't want a capped deltoid, you don't want a V-taper, you want a tiny waist and a big ass. You got to be able to speak the language. So for this workout, if a guy wants an arm workout, large and small, proximal, distal, multi, single. Start out with, do your foam rolling and warm up, whatever, but do some chin-ups and do some push-ups, and then do some ab work. Do that for 3 rounds, each set making it more challenging. So if you only can do 5 chin-ups, do 3 sets of 5 chin-ups. So at the end, maybe have them hold and give them a little bit of a pull. And then when you go into the push-up, maybe put a leg out, maybe you do some bicycle kicks. Instead of going real fast, you go really slow, hold isometrically, implement, fit, and be creative in that way. Next group, so we have a push and a pull. Maybe you decide to put in a goblet squat into a cable row and a bicep exercise. If he wants to focus on biceps, I'm not going to do a bunch of isolation bicep stuff in the beginning because that's what bros will do. They'll go and do 4 exercises just for the biceps. A ton of volume for a pretty small area, maybe 8% of your mass. So when you do a row and a push, you're breaking down your chest, your back, your shoulders, your buys, your tries, your core. You're engaging a lot more muscles. You're releasing more hormones. You're burning more calories. How would you like bigger arms and nice flat abs? So that's how you can add the value by not doing the stereotypical bro workout. You're gonna do some multi-jointed stuff first that are gonna be more advantageous. And then maybe the last one, you add in some step-ups and maybe you teach him a hinge pattern, whether if it be a hip thrust or a floor bridge or an RDL. And whatever area he wants to get sore, do an exercise at the end. So we had our first circuit, we did 3 rounds, second circuit 3 rounds. The last one, you're gonna do step-ups and face pulls and ask him, what's one area you really want to focus on? What's one exercise you really enjoy? I don't care. Well, then throw in a farmer's carry or throw something that maybe he hasn't done before. But if he says, I want to do some more curls, do some more curls. But don't just do your typical curls. Most guys will curl unilateral. I don't know what it is. I think it's because when you look in the mirror, you can see your bicep. Have them do bilateral. And they'll be, oh, is this the right way to do it? No, it's just a different technique. Twist at the end. When you twist, it's going to be supination. Your bicep supinates your radial ulnar joint. So you're going to get more activation. Feel that pump. Have them hold at the end. 5, 4, 3. Come on, come on, come on. Use your name. Push down a little. Get engaged. If you want to be a great trainer, you got to think big like that. You got to look at your competition. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Most trainers get a certification and they stop their learning. They think that certification is going to make them start making $100,000. Doesn't work like that. I'm going to do an in-depth analysis on the recent Equinox article that came out from the New York Times. It's pathetic. People want to make 100,000 plus and be the top of the food chain when it comes to being a personal trainer, but we don't want to work. If we work one 80-hour work week, we're going to cry victim and then write an article. It's bullshit. If you want to be successful, You got to analyze your competition. You got to learn from your competition. Watch what they're doing and then become better. At the end of the day, the number one thing your clients want are results. And if you just play that game and do it all, ladder drills and single arm kettlebell stuff for 40 minutes, and then you do running back and forth, and you and you're just doing these exercises because they're fun and hard, your client's gonna find somewhere else, like an F45 and Orange Theory, that's cheaper and it's harder than your training. Those classes are fine. They're great to complement training. I tell my clients, I encourage them, get a yoga, Pilates, or one of these small group, or I'll do ClassPass. Do that on top of training with me 3 times a week. When was the last time you invested with a trainer who knows what they're doing 3 times a week for a minimum of 4 months? No. What you do is you try to find a fad diet, a quick answer, and you do these high intense classes. And you don't get results because it's not sustainable because no one's teaching you. That's the value in us. There's quiz number 1. Looking forward to the next week. Have a great holiday week.